Have you ever had a dream so big and personal that you didn't want to say out loud, or that you're scared to start the beginning of your dream, not because it didn't matter to you, but because you're worried that people might laugh at it, or even worse, ignore it completely? I have felt the way more than I can even count, and I believe that many of us here have felt the same. The truth is that behind every incredible moment in history, every invention and every movement that changed the world, there was a dream. It was not always perfect and certainly not always safe, but it was a dream that kept going even when fear, rejection, failure, and doubt tried to stop it. We often imagine courage as loud or confident, but more often than that, it begins quietly with a question, a hope, a small voice that says, "What if I tried?" Sadly, the world doesn't always make space for dreamers. Hi everyone, my name is Ummi Habibah and I am from Diponegoro University. Let me continue. It often tells us to lower our expectations, to stay where we are, to choose comfort over courage. But the people who truly change things, who inspire things, who dreams, didn't listen to that noise. Malala Yousafzai, for example, a female education activist born in Pakistan, in a place where girls were being silenced through fear and violence, she dared to imagine a world where girls could go to school and live freely. One morning of 9th October 2012, at her age just 15 years old, she was shot by a Taliban for speaking out, and yet she survived, and she spoke even louder after that. She once said, "They thought the bullets would silence us, but they failed. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage were born." Her story reminds us courage is not the absence of fear, it's the chase to act anyway. Let's take a closer look at the world of our generation. Take one of the most famous K-pop boy groups, 17. They started as trainees from a very small company without the privilege of big budgets or instant fame. Many people doubted them, saying the competition was too fierce, that the odds were too low. But turns out they trained very hard, they supported one another, and believed deeply in their visions, not only as performers, but also as self-producing artists. And today, 17 is known globally not just for their talent, but for their unity, humility, persistence, work ethic. They've shown that even in a saturated industry full of doubts, dream backed by courage and effort can break through. Their journey wasn't smooth or guaranteed. It was built step by boys who refused to give up. And maybe you're not fighting for your life or chasing the stage lights, but your dream might still feel impossible. Maybe the people around you don't understand. Maybe sometimes you even question whether you're good enough to pursue it or not. But here's something to remember. You don't need to have all the answers, and you don't need a million supporters. Sometimes the only person you need to believe in your dream is only you, yourself. Because courage doesn't always roar, it often whispers. It says, start anyway, keep going. So whatever your dream may be, speak it, defend it, begin. And when the world doubts you, don't join them. Reality is more cruel than our imagination, but we are stronger than the person we imagine ourselves to be. Choose to believe in yourself, because sometimes the quietest dreams, whether it's from a small village, a dance studio, a heart full of fear, those future dreams are the ones that change the world. To end this speech, I would love to share some quotes that will keep you motivated and keep moving on to chase your dreams. Back to what I said earlier. Malala once said, "One child, one teacher, one pen, and one book could change the world." The leader of 17 𝐂𝐴𝐧𝐭𝐼 once said, "Anyone can lose their way. All you need is the courage to walk the unfamiliar and daunting path again." Joshua from 17, he said this in his speech in UNESCO. He said that every unique dream that you have is very important. Every single dream matters, whether it's big or small, loud or quiet, traditional or innovative, personal or public. Never let anyone, including yourself, belittle your dreams. Wonu from 17 said, "You can't be good enough at everything, but that doesn't mean you can't do anything. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8 times. Someday, we'll all succeed." 𝐻𝐭 from 17 said, "When my little steps pile up, they will form a firm path one day." Xu Minghao from 17 said, "We all have our lives to live, and find your dream to live according to that. Don't listen to what other people say." And lastly, Dino from 17 said, once this tiresome journey is over, will be something the world has never seen. So now, what dream will you choose courage for today? And remember, don't be so hard on yourself. It's your first time living. Thank you.